Hey guys, Coach Ash here, and in today's video I want to talk about why you need a high protein diet if you're trying to lose body fat. So a lot of people, they are trying to lose maybe 15, 20 pounds of body fat, but they're struggling. And they say that they're eating clean, they say that they're getting in enough protein, but I guarantee you most people are not even getting half the daily recommended amount. If your goal is fat loss and you're trying to lose that stubborn belly fat, then you need to be eating at least, bare minimum, 80 grams of protein a day. For me, I try to aim for 80 to 100 per day. Now, someone as small as me, I'm about 5'2", I don't weigh that much. Getting in 100 grams of protein is challenging. And this is coming from a coach that has been training for over 7 years now. You have to be intentional about your meal timing and about your protein sources if you want to lose body fat. Not everything that says protein is good for you. There's going to be a lot of marketing schemes and product labeling that deceive you, but you have to know how to read a nutrition label. And what you want to do is turn to the other side of the product. If the saturated fat and the total fat content is about the same, if not more, than the protein that it claims to have, it's not a good product. Because what makes people gain weight is excess fat and sugar. Fat has a lot of calories. If you compare fat to calories from carbs and protein, fat has 9 calories per gram, meaning that it's more than double the energy that you get from protein and carbs. A lot of people don't realize that they have a high amount of fat in their diet, and although, yes, some of those fat sources could be coming from a protein source, you have to pick the right protein sources. So if you're trying to lose fat, you need to pick leaner protein sources. Pork, red meat, those are going to have a higher fat content than white fish and chicken and turkey, specifically chicken breast. When you are going through this process of losing weight, you need to start tracking your macros and you need to start understanding how that affects your body. For me, I need carbs for my body because it just metabolizes well. But for somebody else, carbs might spike their blood sugar and cause them to store more body fat. Some people can do better on a keto diet. Some people can do better on a high carb diet. It really depends on your biology and your DNA, which we can't test that outright. But if you make notes and observations on what you eat, whether you feel tired, whether you feel hungry, whether you have cravings, make a note of that. For me, I had to observe, okay, I ate this high carb meal right here. I feel super sleepy and tired later in the day. Let me try a high protein, low carb meal. And I felt more energized and I had long lasting energy. And that's because if I have carbs early in the day, my body just can't process all of it. So I save my carbs for the end of the day. Same thing with protein. You want to have an even amount of protein throughout the day. Let's say you eat 3 to 4 meals a day. If you aim to have 25 grams of protein in those 3 to 4 meals, you get anywhere from 75 to 100 grams of protein. And it's simple, but it's not easy. A lot of people can easily make the mistake of overestimating their protein intake and underestimating their fat. I guarantee you, if you look at the nutrition labels of all the foods that you're eating and you look at the fat content, it's going to be higher, if not more, than your protein content. And that's what's keeping you stuck from losing body fat. my rule of thumb, I have healthy fats, so avocados, avocado oil, olive oil, those are good. Yes, fats are really good for your joints, but you shouldn't have an excess amount of them. Anything that's in excess, you have to go to caloriecalculator.net, put in your activity level, in your weight and height and all of that, and it'll give you macros for how many fats you should be having in a day. For me, I shouldn't be having more than 60 to 70 grams of fat per day. And I barely get that in because I eat mostly high protein sources of food. The only thing that I get in is maybe the avocado or the occasional red meat. But I actually have to add fats into my diet because I don't consume that much fat in my diet. Like, I've just kind of learned to reduce it. And some people even go to the extent of cooking with water. I think that's a bit extreme, but hey, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But for the most part, even cooking oil, when you're deep frying things, that adds to your fat. And it also adds to carbs because when you have the breadcrumbs or whatever you use to deep fry, that, like flour, it's going to add more calories. So when you're choosing protein sources for you to lose fat, make sure you're choosing, first of all, lean protein sources: chicken breast, turkey, white fish. And from there, the cooking method matters. If you can bake it, steam it, boil it, put it in a crock pot with some low-calorie sauces, like, those are gonna be way better than frying it and deep frying it. And yeah, you have to go from there, and you have to make sure that your protein is adequate. So if you're stuck with your fat loss journey, you don't know why, I suggest you look at your fat sources, look at your protein sources, look at how it's being prepared, and start to make changes today. And if you need help with that, I'm also an online fitness coach. You can DM me on Instagram and I'll reach back out. Have a good one, guys. Coach Ash out.